And welcome back to another sort of convoluted video. This is Evil, and this time around we're going to talk about the weapon trial level 50s. I did complete them all. I was going to do 3 individual videos, but I felt like just get them all into one video and let's call it a day. Now when we go through this video, I'll show you the characters that I used, the builds or their skills that I used, and I'll give you a quick run of how I completed these runs. I do believe I can also show the gear that I had on them. If not, um, I'll figure it out from here on out. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the first one, Weapon Trial 1, level 50. And let's go ahead and take a look at this one. So one of the big things about doing these weapon trials is that you need to understand the mechanics of the bosses. You got to understand how they work. So with this particular boss right here, you don't want to use any melee attacks. You want to be able to do only range attacks, and that's kind of what I did here. I did rock with 2 healers on this one, so I had Samantha and then I used Angel as well. You are going to want to clear the debuffs that this boss drops. So let's go ahead and take a look through here. And basically I just went with the characters that I had that were very powerful. So I went with my Lily Will, I went with the free Fake Hall, and then I went with my Momo. And just basically with Momo, I just wanted to drop infectious stacks onto the boss and then just keep her close by so that it can do the damage using her passives. Let's see if it lets me. Give me a second. So the first thing that the boss does is drops these little zones right here on the 2 targets, and as long as you're staying on those zones, it gives you stigmata stacks, which you're going to want to get those dispelled. That was the first reason why I went with Angel, because all of her skills dispel. Perfect. So with the Angel build, what I did was I gave her Light of Healing skill, which heals all allies and what's it called, around the target, and then has a dispels 1 debuff. So I went with that skill right there, and then I went with her single target healing spell, which dispels 1 debuff. I went with this right here for M defense. So I don't think this boss does, but it was like the only thing I really had with her. And then I went with the protection of the light, where when hit by an active single target skill, the damage taken is decreased by 30, and this effect may happen 1 time. Pretty self-explanatory with Angel, that's what I went with. And then with my Samantha, I gave her the Light of Celestial Purge because it can it could dispel 3 buffs from the enemy, and it removes 3 debuffs from allies. So that's the reason why I went with this one right here. And then she has her single target right here, and then she has her AoE one right here. I do have a weapon on her that makes it so that her skills her single target heal gives a dispel. So that's what I pretty much running on her. And then with my Momo, I pretty much ran her with the reaction right here that gives the repulsion barrier, so that whenever she hits with a melee, she does a strike back that gives infection stacks. And then the aura right here, which decreases AoE damage, which is very important. This one was very good to help out with whenever the team gets caught. That 25% was very helpful. And then the erosive power right here, where the damage increases by 10%, and since I was only doing her single target attack skill right here, it was pretty much applying 2 infectious stacks. So that's the reason why I went with her. And then for I went with the toughness that gains immunity from the injured and dying statuses. So injured and dying they suck. Like if you have those based off of what your HP is, they can drop down your damage, and they can drop down your how much you can get hit, and increase how much you get hit, which was a very painful thing. So I did not want to deal with that. So I went ahead and put this on her so that no matter how high or low her HP was, she's not affected by these debuffs. And then with Fake Hall, I just pretty much went with the standard stuff. He pretty much either did these foot sniping skill, or he just did a regular attack. That's all he did. And then my Lily Will, I went with this setup right here, even though I didn't really need to do this one right here, because I think she's she does give like the extra movement to Momo, and she does give Momo the 10% attack and 20% defense, which was really nice. But above all, the biggest damaging skill, the Arrow of Alis, was really good because it puts infection stacks on them, and then the Wind Walking, which increases the crit damage and the maximum range of skills. So that's pretty much what I did with this setup, and I just followed the boss's patterns. So we'll go ahead and go through. So she moved up, did a single target, and then she did that right there. So, so looking at that right off the break, I'm already dropping infectious stacks onto the boss. Already has 5 infectious stacks on it, just from those 2 hits. So she gave 2, and then she gave 3, which was really good. And it just, I love that infectious build. And then Fake Hall just did damage. Angel did nothing, and then I did that to go ahead and cleanse any debuffs. So this right here, whenever you see this is easily telegraphed in back way. Once you see that block, you just get everybody out that middle, because he's going to do an AoE that's going to be very painful. So we moved everyone off. Lily Will still able to hit. Fake Hall still able to hit. She goes ahead and heals people, and then she comes over here. Boss does the AoE, and then once the boss does the AoE, the next round the boss is going to do this little debuff on your character. I do believe it's on the highest magic defense. Let me double check that. That is, I think it's on the highest magic defense. Prepares 1 turn to the target with the lowest. Okay, so target with the lowest HP and all enemies within 1 tile, dealing 180% damage. If there's only 1 target, the damage decreases by 25% for each one. So whoever has the lowest HP percentage is the one that's going to get that target, and that's going to be the Abysmal Gaze Extra 2. So basically, once you get that on there, and since she had the lowest one, the HP, she was the one that was targeted. So what you're going to do is that when you see this, you're going to want to have more, you're going to have people inside the box, which lowers the damage. So you're going to see Momo move there, she's going to do that. Fake Hall's going to do that. I'm going to move my healer right there, and I'm going to move Samantha right there, and they're going to top off everybody and heal them, and then he's going to do that, which is going to make it so that everybody survives. I use them for the sole reasons that I know they can top off each other, they can heal each other up. It makes it, just easy. Because I also want to double check something. Yeah, so this magical damage. That, you know what? Now I think about it, that was the reason why I had Angel's skill right here. So Angel's skill, which does the M defense 30% for all allies within 2, and then I had Momo's skill, which does the AoE damage 25%. So it mitigated and lowered a lot of that damage. So that's the reason why I make sure those 2 stay together at all times. Just makes sense for me to do that. And then we just go through and then once you do that and you get through that part of the fight, the boss is just going to basically be doing dropping down these little zones and just preparing yourself again. The boss is dropping down, you dispel, get as much stuff off. The boss is going to do the telegraph, and then just rinse repeat, and then just basically just keep doing this, and just keep rinse repeat, and you just follow that pattern. What I would recommend is that Angel is definitely really good, because with Angel you don't have to have any extra gear on her to have her dispel. She automatically has it in her kit, which is really nice. So if you have Angel, I definitely recommend her. But as far as your DPS, any rangers and archers that you have is going to be fine. You can go with any rangers, any archers that you have on your team. It's going to be perfectly fine. It'll allow you to be able to do this, do the dish out the damage. Just gotta make sure that they have suitable enough attack so that you're doing, pretty decent damage, so you can do it within the time frame. I think I did this in like 12 rounds. But yeah, above all, that's pretty much it for this. That's how this is done, and it was a pretty, it wasn't, it was a pretty, it was a pretty decent battle. No complaints, especially I think all my characters were like level 38, 39 when I was doing that. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Weapon Trial 2. So with Weapon Trial 2, with this one right here, I took the advice of Vulcan, and I used Vulcan strategy. I was trying to find suitable tank in order to absorb this guy's attacks, because he has a kit where he hits the furthest, whoever's like the furthest away. So this skill right here deals 100% physical damage to the farthest enemy to the character, and inflicts cancel healing received. So this skill right here, I was trying to find the right unit to use, and then when I saw Vulcan talk about this unit here, I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and try it. It worked out so good. Highly recommend that you have this character. It's actually surprisingly pretty damn good, and the reason why it's pretty good is because not only with the passive, which at the start of the battle you gain a physical shield, 25% of your health, but also the instant that gains a physical shield with a value of 25% of the health, and you get block enhancement, where when hit by a ranged physical attack from the front or the side, there's a 100% chance to trigger a block. But you're really doing this because of that 25% shield. And then you have this skill right here, which is a single target attack, which I never used. I think I used it on the boulders just so I can generate shield. But honestly, I didn't use this. I was always spamming this skill right here to constantly keep giving myself 25% HP. And I had this skill right here where every time he's healed, he gets a damage reduction of 20%, which just made him tanky. And then like the skills that I had on him, so basically just kept him in the back line, and he just did his thing in the back line. I ran Cole, because Cole does Cole things. This boss, you want to do all melee attacks, all melee damage. So these three pretty much rotating around and attacking and damaging the boss. And then of course I'm running Samantha, but again, if you have Angel will be perfectly fine as well. She'll help out and do this very well. I tried to do it with Butterfly, and it was actually significantly harder to do with Butterfly, but it is what it is, right? So with this boss, has of course a different rotation, different way of playing, but you're going to want to go up. I destroyed the rocks so the rocks weren't in my way. So there's that attack right there, that he did, that long range attack that hit him, and he pretty much soaked it up because of his shield, which was really nice. And then I had her go do an attack, and then I had to do that. So hopefully I was trying to see if I can get the crits. I did get a crit right there, and I got a crit right there, which is really nice. And then Cole did with Cole things, and then the boss does another attack on this character right here, back here, which is what I want. I want this character to soak up all that damage, because it keeps it off my characters right here. And then Samantha goes, and like I said, I have her with the weapon that makes it so that whenever she does a single target heal, it dispels. So I very much just, even though it said 0, I dispelled it off, and it was really good. Now the bosses did this skill right here, and what that skill does is that it will supercharge 2 of your characters, and when it's the next turn, they do a cross-shaped wave that will hit all enemies in that wave on the map, that's in that wave. So what you're going to want to do is place them so in a way so that they're not hitting each other, and that they're not hitting up, no one is being hit twice with the wave. It's a very powerful wave. It hurts like hell. So what I did was I went ahead and I topped them off. I had her do the attacks, Cole's doing Cole things, and then I was able to heal and heal him up. And then the two waves right there hit that. He did the shield. These guys are go ahead and attacking and trying to do some damage, trying to get more attack. I use Urgent Order. Urgent Order is such a fantastic skill because it allows you to play with the turn order every single time, and it's only for 80 energy, which 80 TP is easy to get up during the turnarounds. And I always use Urgent Order on Samantha, so then that way she can heal before the boss does something, just to keep everybody alive. So then the boss does a pushback, and once the boss does a pushback, it summons these little meteorites right here. And those meteorites are a pain in the ass because what they do is that they give a debuff, depending on the more comet debris. It does a reduced P defense by 20%, and this affects stacks. So if you're within range of these two right here, it can stack up and do a physical defense decrease, which is very painful. So you definitely don't want to be near them. I should have pushed that, but I didn't. I went ahead and knocked it with her. I did the urgent orders so that she can go ahead and heal everybody before the boss can take a turn. The boss hits him again. And this is just, again, that rotation. You just rotate. These two are supercharged, so I need to make sure that everyone gets healed as fast as possible, and they're not lined up so that they're going to be hitting each other or hitting everybody in the team. So I had her move up, attack. I did March Command just so that he can attack and then back away. I had her heal Cole because Cole's way more squishy. And then boom, and he's barely survived, which was crazy. So I made sure I topped off everyone right here, and then just rinse repeat. So this, again, with this boss, it's just all about rinse repeat. And once you learn how their mechanics work, it's as easy as just knowing what to rotate. With this boss, I would definitely recommend using Papil Guard. Papil Guard is really, really good. Papa Guard, I'm just gonna call him Papa Guard from here on out. And then when it comes to your damage dealers, whoever your strongest breaker or seekers are, for melee, just use them, and then have Angel or Samantha, or if you have Inanna, any of those really strong healers are going to be useful. And you just rinse repeat, and that's how you survive this boss. And yeah, so now we're going to go to the final boss, which is the tier 3. So with this boss right here, I went with kind of a combination of range and seekers. Seekers are really good for this boss. If you have some significantly strong seekers, highly recommend. I went with my free-to-play Raulia, I went with my Cole, my No Will, and I went with my Lily Will. These are some of my stronger characters, but like I said, if you have any seekers or range watchers that have range attacks, definitely very strong. And then also the of really strong breakers as well. All those, any of the your strongest DPSs, because this boss is more. The rotations aren't as hard. It's actually one of the easier bosses. This boss is pretty much like a stat check, so to speak. You want to make sure that you get rid of these things right here, because they can be a pain in your ass, and you want to be able to have access to be able to attack them as much as possible. So first, the boss does a single target attack on the person with the highest magic defense, and then the boss does a summon. I did the urgent order so I can move up and get rid of these things. And when you do damage to these things and you destroy them, once you destroy them, it gives the boss a buff. And once the more of those things you destroy, the more this goes up and it stacks up, but it can be dispelled. I'm gonna be honest with you, the best thing to run on this fight is the Devil Totem. If you have a bunch of Devil Totems, put those on your DPS. hands down, put those on all of your DPS, because as you kill those little small things, the devil totems stack up, and your characters are going to be doing more and more damage every time you destroy those things. So focusing them is kind of like a priority, except for at one particular part in the fight, which I'll get to. And then whoever is the melee person, whoever's going to be up close and like hitting the boss up front, you're going to want to run the totem. I can't remember the name of it, but it does, like, it dispels whichever enemy, like 2 debuff and 2 of their buffs. It dispels 2 of their buffs. You want to keep that person up next to them at all times, because while they're in that melee range, it's going to constantly keep removing that buff, and then every time you kill those little guys, it's going to stack up on the devil buff. So Cole, Lily Will, and Nona will all have devil. So there, every time those 2 things we got, they just got 2 stacks of devil. And then Samantha, I was running the Wheel of Fortune card because it has a chance of doing all these different types of buffs, including like AoE heals, damage. I don't know what they all do, but it just the AoE heal was the one that was always like the clutch, and it just gives her more heal and utility. And I think that Wheel of Fortune card is just a fantastic card. So with this one right here, it was mostly just a gear check, and the devil totems is the best thing, hands down. Put devil totems on your DPS and you'll notice a hell of a difference. So Cole goes up, hits, and then he backs off. Nona Will goes up, hits, and then she moves over. Lily Will comes over, does that. Again, Lily Will does infection, so I made sure that she does the infection. And then I had her heal herself up. And then on this fight here, it's going to target the person with the M defense, and then he's going to summon those little things, these 3 right here. So my goal was to get rid of these, but I had Rauya stay up close so they can remove the buffs, and she can keep doing damage, while I had Cole destroy that one right there, which gives a devil stack. Boom boom, devil stack. And then Nona Will destroys that. Boom boom, devil stack. And then Lily Will destroys that one, easy, devil stacks. And now their damage is going to be significantly higher, and it's just like I said, you just keep doing that. And then she does the Wheel of Fortune, which does damage. So this right here is the only time where you don't want to focus these, because you need to blow and bust this bubble as fast as possible, because if you don't, you're going to get hit with the damage of the bubble as well as whatever is left over on the character. It's a very, very strong physical shield, and it does a lot of damage. So you need to want to make sure that you destroy that, because that's an AoE hit, and it hits significantly hard. It's very painful. So Rauya attacks, goes ahead and does that. She dispels the his buff. Everyone's doing the damage right here. We almost got the buff. We almost got that taken out. We use urgent orders so that we can go ahead of the boss. And then she went ahead and attacked that, because magic damage doesn't really do anything to the shields, only physical damage. Cole destroyed that, which added a stack, and then boom, the shield is down. So now you just gonna go ahead and just do more damage. You just gotta rotate and just keep doing more damage. The boss does an AoE, boom, summons that. Whoever's the closest one, which I think Lily Will is gonna do it. No, Nona Will is gonna do it. So there she goes, at add stack of devil stacks, and then she's just gonna add infection stacks, and it's really just, again, rinse repeat, rinse repeat. Once you understand how it works, yeah. Oh, he does that skill right there as well, which is a pain in the ass skill. It hurts like hell, but you just heal through it. And yeah, you just focus on doing that. She always is going to stay, whoever your melee person is, they always need to stay up with this boss so they can keep removing this, keep doing dispel, and then have the other people destroy these. Focus on doing these. It's really important, because once you kill and destroy those, and you see now he's hitting for like 2,000, 3,000 a hit, all because of those devil stacks. Those devil stacks are huge, because you was destroying those things. The damage just consistently keeps getting stronger and stronger. Cole almost died on that one. I was very sad, because sometimes he hits them. Cole almost died, but then you have these right here. So it's just, again, once you learn and understand how the fights work, you just have to go ahead and manage that. All right. But yeah, guys, so that's it. Those are the strategies that I use in order to beat the weapon trials. Definitely, if you have any questions, please hit the comments down below. Let me know, and I'll definitely try to help you guys out the best that I can. But that's it. You guys have a great rest of your day, and yeah, stay hydrated or whatever the hell you do. I don't know. Don't do drugs. Stay away from meth. There we go.